guys, it's Acrylic Painting Monday, and because we're getting into the holiday season and in winter, we thought we'd paint our favorite holiday bird, which is a red cardinal on some snow. And we've done a lot of cardinals in snow, and it's kind of a painting that people like to do, but it's fun to, let's just do a new one, find a different way to, let's talk about a different way to express a cardinal in the snow and winter. So this is a premiere, which means that that was filmed ahead of time, but hopefully John and I will be in the live chat as this airs, and we'll be able to answer your questions. Want to thank our moderators in advance, whoever was able to show up. Since I don't know yet, because this is in the future, not feeling that psychic, we just assume somebody's there that's moderating, and thank you guys, and happy holidays
and
to you.
And if you're not there,
we understand. Okay. So, all right. So we've got a little this is our little, just a little painting I worked out. I thought I might be able to do something like this. I found a bird and thought I'd do a little background of some trees and so forth and put him in some snow. And that was about as far as I got. Kind of took 2 or 3 images and put them together. So I've got a little light green canvas, a little 8x10. You could do... doesn't really matter what the color is, just some sort of light color. You could do a peach would be pretty too. Because it really doesn't matter what the colors are, as we are going to change that. Now we have some, because we've been filming these premieres all day. We have our color chart here, and I'll just show you the colors we're going to be...
Hold the chart over to the left a little bit, yeah. Thank you.
We have the color chart here, and we're going to be... we're going to probably add phthalo green to it. We have phthalo blue and ultramarine blue. We have some magenta. We have some cadmium orange, cad red. Probably won't use this yellow, but that's like a marigold, cad yellow light, cad yellow medium, yellow oxide, burnt sienna, burnt umber, zinc white. This is called buff titanium. And then the other is your titanium white. And you want to, if you haven't made a chart like this, probably want to pause the video here if you're not watching it as a premiere. And just take a moment and, at least get a screenshot of this so you know how to
make one for yourself.
How to make one for yourself, yes? Okay. So, let's...
now, somebody's going to ask, why do you have a square on your canvas?
Yeah, why is that, John?
We're going to use that canvas for something else, and we nix the idea.
Yeah.
And so ignore the square.
Yeah,
you don't see it.
Yeah, the main thing I want to do is just get the background in, all right? So rather than trace the whole thing on, we're just going to take a large brush, and I want a sort of a peach gray color. So it's going to be 99% white, a little magenta, and a little black. And I'm just going to come on up here. It's a little bit more magenta and black. And that's too much. Let's try a little bit of the buff titanium, a little bit of black.
Mixing it right on the canvas.
Did I mention we had black before? I don't know if I mentioned that color.
No.
Okay,
it's
so that's
why we use black.
Yeah, we don't, but that's our... all right, so let's do some more buff titanium with that. I think we probably want all of the buff titanium and more white. Okay, there we go, something like this.
Apparently you didn't like my background I gave you.
No, and let's take a little bit of black to that. No. There you go.
No, I didn't.
All right, so I didn't like your color, but that's all right. Doesn't matter. We needed something on here, and that's the color. We're looking for the color.
It always paints better when you have more layers.
Yeah, absolutely. You see how nicely this is painting, okay? Now, just coming up there like this, and adding just a little bit more of the buff titanium. And here we go. I think I'm going to put a little blue down in here. Because this area is going to have some blue in it. So we'll just, as long as we're doing it, we're just going to kind of say we have some blue colors down in here. And this all sort of melts into these colors up in here. There we go. So that's our background color. Now, because we want everything very faded out, I'm going to just take, I think we said phthalo green, didn't we?
You did. You said you're going to add that. And I believed you.
Did you?
I did.
Oh. Okay.
You know where phthalo green is?
Not sure. Not sure I even know where it is.
You organize yourself and everything.
I know. I reorganized.
Don't you hate it when you do that?
I reorganized everything, and I still don't know where anything is. Oh, here it is. Phthalo green. It says so on the package there. All right, little phthalo green.
On the package.
Oh, look at that. It's not even open.
Should
have anything
we
to open
pause
it.
for a moment and I get you one?
No, there should be one somewhere else, shouldn't there?
I'm surprised you don't have one in your little bucket there.
Well, I don't. So I don't want to use that one. I don't want to open it. So
I can pause and get you one.
I know you can, but surely I have an open one somewhere.
Well, I would
Shirley
think
knows.
so.
Shirley knows, don't I?
Surely.
Shirley.
Shirley should
Well,
know.
here's a very old Liquitex one. I can use that.
Ooh, that's blowing the dust off.
There you go. A little bit one. So, all right. So now I've got this. Now I want to do a pine tree. Keep in mind that it's smaller at the top and it spreads out, like that, right? So we're going to take some white and phthalo green and a little black, and we're going to mix that on something. Here's a mixing palette we can use. Right, like this. You're going to mix that like that. There you go. Let's put a little magenta in that because that will gray the green.
Now,
All
that
right.
is a Stay Wet palette with a used palette paper in there. You can use them.
You see how much paint there's? Now, we can't do anything with that. So we're just going to ignore that color there and try it down in here. Okay, eventually I'll get the color. I want actually green. Let's try some yellow. See if we can get some green going. Okay, no, don't want any of those colors. Do you ever have one of those days where you don't want any of those colors and they just kept mixing and you're going, where did that come from? This is closer right here, this sort of grayed green. All right, so let's try some white with that.
It's a nice color.
That's a nice color. It just took us a while to get there, but you see how we did, right? Now I'm going to sit there and say I'm going to start here, up here like this, while this this paint's still kind of wet. And I'm using just the edge of the brush. I'm going to say that there's a tree here. And it's going to come down far enough where, let's still get a little zinc white with that. Lighten this up even more. There we go. That looks very tree-like, right? Remember, it's smaller at the top. This will be down here behind the birds. You're not going to see this will all be bird and stuff. He's going to be there, and then we're going to have another one of these. Maybe this tree won't be so wide. I want a little bit more blue in that. There we go. So let's just going to say here's another tree in here. Oh, too much blue. Did you guys see that? Did you ever do that? Where you got too much? What do you do with that? Well, you just have to get it off.
We certainly don't panic.
Don't panic. It's all right. It's not great, but it's okay. So here we go. I'm going to say this is a little bluer, but I want more of a grayed green down in here like this. Okay.
Well, that's a pretty color.
That's a pretty color, too. And then I'm just going to have a little shorter tree right here. And then as I get down to here, let's see, where's my zinc white? I really don't want a lot of color down here. So here's the zinc white. My brush is dirty. So I'm just going to suggest that there's these colors that are doing this. Now I know that looks kind of messy at this point, which is okay. When you get something that dark, you may have to gray it a little bit, but here's I'll put a little bit of that magenta in it, and that will kind of gray the blue a little bit. Because what we're saying is that all this is just all this is going to be behind our bird, because we got a fence here and snow and bird. So a lot of this you're just not going to see. Okay, so here's a little bit more of the zinc white. I'm just using this big angle brush. I'm just going to suggest that there's some snow on some of this. And let's just see if we've got something over here, maybe.
One a little bit further in the background.
Yeah, just kind of smaller in the background. Now, what I want to do is dry this and do another layer of zinc, okay? All right, so I'm going to just sit there and say, I'm just going to take my my zinc white here like that. And where's my peach background here? I'm just going to suggest, now that I've done this a little bit, I'm just going to kind of try to lighten up some of this this background. We've got some, yeah, just push the zinc white over these trees like that because it's so thin. It just makes these trees all go in the background, and because it's so transparent. And I want some of this background to be more transparent too. Got a little bit of a peach color in it. Let's just see, what do I got here like that? Something like that. Again, I don't want to talk about the background, but on the other hand, we need a little background. So let's see if I can't.
Something back there.
Yeah, so I'm going to just sit there and see if I can't put a little bit of this tree back. Right. Because these trees are really in the background. Maybe they've got some snow on them. Let's just do that. Let's just put some snow on the branches. Because I think there would be. All right, I just feel like there would be. Again, I don't want anything that bright of purple, so here we go.
Pretty color. Pretty
color, but I just want something. So this whole background, you guys, it's got to be out of focus. That's the thing. If that's what we need. In fact, I think there you go. Here's some peach again. Let's just do everything kind of at an angle like this. There, because that kind of brings your eye in, right? Now, when you have all this out of focus, because we weren't painting it all that well, right? Then you can put some other stuff in here and it's okay. It's just, again, this background is still too light. No, not light enough, actually. There you go. I want it sort of grayed peach, right? So it's there, but it isn't, okay?
It really looks like you have a light snow covering everything.
Yeah, it's just all out of phase, right? Now we're going to dry that. Okay. So what I want to do now is draw the bird on. And what did you say? I had all these new colored pencils?
Yeah, what?
You said I had new colored pencils somewhere? Oh, you're talking about the white ones?
Yeah.
Okay, not all right, the white ones. All right.
Yeah.
So what I know here, I'm going to have some snow coming down like this, and I've got can't have those. They need a color on this. So I know that I've got a fence coming down like this. And this is all coming down here like that. And then our bird, I didn't want to worry too much about this background because I knew that was going to get covered by a bird. So before I draw the bird in, I'm going to just go ahead and take the burnt umber and a little ultramarine blue. That's my darkest brown. Did you know that? And we're going to paint this fence in. All the brush strokes going up and down. Burnt umber, ultramarine blue, no white. I'm going to come over about that far. And it comes down about like so, yay. All right, so that's the first thing we got, right? And then we've got maybe a little bit of a not so dark, more of a burnt sienna color back here maybe that's doing this, that our bird's sitting on. Okay. All right, so that's what we got going there, okay? So then let's dry that and put the bird on. What do you think?
That's a great idea.
I think so too. Now I want to share something with you. Notice that the shape of the bird.
Ooh, get the 3D blackboard out.
All right, so if you thought about, look at it, something at an angle like this, like an arrow going up this way, right? And you've got and then you've got a wing, and then you've got a tail coming down like this, and this always curves back. It's like the wind's blowing it, right? So you want to make sure that curves back. Then you've got your beak, your mask, and then we will have this slightly rounded, not quite so straight a line, but still that will be there, and then there's your mask, okay, of the bird. So that's how you're drawing that in case you were wondering, okay? But that's the shape.
Pretty
Can
basic.
you make it even how much space between here and here, like that. But still, that's the shape of your bird. So cardinals are probably some of the easiest birds to draw on. Again, we could trace him on, but we're gonna find a piece of chalk that shows up. This isn't to size, is it? This page, is it to size?
Which one?
Is this to size, this reference? No?
Yeah.
Yes?
It's a perfect reference.
Well, I guess I could have traced it on then, huh? I can't see anything with this chalk. That's very annoying. Let's try this again. All right, from here to here, I guess no, I can't see that chalk either. Well, I mean, if you can't see it, John.
That's true.
There's just, you got to be able to see it to see that you're drawing on if I'm trying to show somebody else.
Exactly.
This is lighter. Will this come out a little bit more here like this? Up there like this. All right, there we go. All right, so that's the shape. Okay? So all we have to do then.
It's the Angry Bird shape.
Yes, and I think every once in a while it doesn't hurt to let's take some red and I'm going to wipe it off on a rag because this brush has been sitting in water. And I realized I don't want red, I want bright yellow. I'm going to take bright yellow, maybe some of this color, maybe a little white, and I'm going to go ahead and paint this under the painting. This is my under bird painting, so I want a really bright bird. And I'm not going to get a bright bird. Well, he may be smart, but he won't be bright in color. All my birds are smart, the smart ones,
Now, why'd you use yellow versus white?
Well, because yellow is even a brighter color because it's very nice under gold. It's a nice under red. Red is beautiful under gold, and yellow is very nice under
Red.
Under red. Okay. So while that seems like that's just crazy, doesn't it? It doesn't look like much of anything. What a stupid looking painting. Just what is she doing, right? Don't you love it? I think one of the fun things about watching the paintings coming together, right? Don't you? Is seeing how all this stuff works when it doesn't look like it's ever going to. Now I'm just using the same kind of color up here, using the side of my brush, and I'm just suggesting that there's some striations in the in our wood here. Make some wood grain. Get something a little lighter, and There we go, something on our log like that. And then what you can do is you can take, say, something like, say, an orange color, and it just, you know what we don't have is a good rag. You got to be able to wipe stuff off. Let me get a paper towel and do that for you, because look, you just have to have somewhere you can wipe the brush off. If you don't have that, you know, you got to be able to wipe the brush off. And I notice so many of you don't do enough of that. Now I'm going to take this brush kind of sideways and drag it a little bit.
The fine art of dry brushing.
And just drag this up a little bit, kind of. Ooh, I don't want that blue, because blue and brown make a nice color, but there you go. They kind of do something like that.
All fixable.
How about something with a little more red in it? Yeah. And our trunk, our old wood here. Okay, so there's the trunk of this, and let's see, I think I want something coming down here like that, maybe a little bit thinner. Remember, to vary it, you want some things lighter than others. So, and it's acrylic dry darker, so there you go. So something like that. Let's say that's all you need for that. Now let's put a tree back going up in here. Let's just say from the bottom here, we've got a tree coming all the way up here like this. And we'll just go ahead and just paint that in. Remember, your trees are keep thinner as they go to the top, but they certainly don't get fatter. Okay? So let's say there's a tree. We've got another one that's doing this.
So these are more defined than the foreground.
Yeah, because this is our all right. And then we're going to say that there may be some coming back here like this on this side. Maybe dampen your brush a bit so that it flows a little bit more, and maybe you've got a branch coming off of this one that's going this way, depending on where you put your cardinal.
They seem to be the only winter bird they always keep seeing everywhere.
I'm sure there's some others, but
It might be their bright colors why they're always showing up.
people like them. You know, they're the kind of bird that everybody absolutely adores. I think I probably got my bird up a little higher than in the reference photo. You could lower yours a little bit, but I kind of like it the way it is. So
I like it.
It's a little blue, but we're going to cover a lot of this up with snow. And our snow is going to kind of come down like that. Let's widen this tree a bit. Here. Down at the base. Okay. And, okay, so what do we know? When we do stuff like that, remember, use just the corner of this brush when you're doing this. Could you use a brown Posca pen, maybe? If you're having trouble getting thin lines. But remember, the thing about it is tree branches, they get thicker as they
thicker at the base.
And also as they as you put them in there, there's a lot of each branch gets thinner and thinner. So if you used a Posca pen, it would probably just be all the same thickness. So put more. These are the kind of winter trees that we think of when we think of winter trees. Something that's maybe a little more crookedy doing that. Okay, so I think we've got a few trees on there, yeah?
That's good.
So what I want to do is dry that now.
Do you want to show a little something that we have?
Yeah. Well, you know, we've got a lot of holiday paintings, and last year, you want to zoom way out.
Yeah.
Last year, our best holiday Santa was this one on the gallery wrap, a canvas in our Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting. Look at that. And if you haven't done this one, this is a terrific one. And if you just wanted to paint this and not join the Academy, of course, you can purchase this separately as a downloadable lesson, own it forever. But I love Santa with the sparkles. And to me, he's such an artist, Santa. And then this year we try to do a new Santa every year. We've got quite a collection now. This year we're doing a new Santa.
Oh, I love that one.
With you know, time for Christmas. I love the one how we did this with the how beautiful the reds came out in this, and I think this is really, really good. Probably will be the new Christmas favorite. So depending on when we release the Cardinal, this may be already in the Academy. If not, it will be coming soon. How's that? Okay.
See, now we don't know.
We were going to try to release this in late September, so you had plenty of time to paint it. So
yeah, September, October time frame.
Which I thought we'd try to get this one released, right?
What size is that one? 12 by 16?
Yeah, and I think
that's
it's great.
What, 4 cookie?
Yeah, 4 cookie.
And now that big gallery wrap, that was
that's a 12 by 24, but it was the big wide gallery wrap.
Yeah, 12 by 24.
The reason sometimes you want to do that with your 12 by 24s is that they're a painting that size that's difficult to frame. All right, so I've got my white, and I'm taking a little ultramarine blue, and I'm going to mix.
You think the birdie's dry now?
Well, I'm going to just do snow.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to say that I've got some snow on my tree here under the armpit of my branch.
The wind coming from the left. I remember that well in Michigan.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Because always look out and see which way the wind was blowing.
You could tell that from where the snow was on the tree?
Yeah. How do you think it got there?
Well, I don't know.
It certainly didn't fall that way. It doesn't fall sideways.
Well, I just figured that's the part that stuck.
No, that's usually where the wind's coming from.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
No kidding.
No, I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
We'll have to ask. I'm sure people will write us and tell us if we're wrong.
I'm sure comments are going crazy right now. But I'm crazy. You're wrong. I don't know. Living in that tundra for 30 years, I think I'm pretty close.
Okay, and here's our snow coming up on this tree. I don't want to make this too hard for you guys. I want you to just see where you can thick and thin on the snow here, like that. See, it's
yes, it drifts in there.
It's not just a straight line, so please don't do that, right? And that's the same thing with these right here. And at some point, which is kind of neat, then you can just just using your angle brush, do some branches all by themselves. Okay. So it's interesting to me how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, right now we have a canary in the tree.
Yeah, it's a Christmas canary. We were wondering who the predators were for the cardinals, because that's a rough color to be when you're the only thing out there in the woods. Everything's white and you're the red thing, right? We're thinking
who is their natural predator? That's a question for the gang.
Yeah, who is that? Who
goes after the cardinals?
Because, I mean, that's
really not the suit to be wearing. Like
all
you
right,
said,
so as long as I'm doing the snow, we're going to do the gray color first, right? We're going to come up here like this, and we're going to have enough paint on the brush where we can tap this sort of blue color over the top of our log like that, because that's our shadow color, yeah? And a little bit under here. And then we need to tap something like this. And then we're going to just do a little more up here, because ours is a little bit different than the so here we're going to start tapping in some snow. And we want to have enough blue shadows in it. I think we're going to bring this over that way, cover that up. Okay. These guys are just change this a little bit.
well, again, the wind's blowing that drift right into that.
Yeah. Okay, so then you can see where we're just sort of tapping in some snow like that. And I want to bring some of this gray-blue color down here that we had made before. Okay, so sorry, basically just didn't. We don't want it too busy. Didn't want to say too much, but just did want to. This is a little strong here. This dark brown. So I'm going to lighten that up. And mind you, if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, we're trying to get to 100.
Crowd beats you.
You know, we're trying to. If we haven't got to 100,000 by the time this airs, I mean, I hope we will. But
yeah, we'll get there eventually.
More of a burnt sienna, just something dark, but not as dark as I had that. But I never worry about stuff like that because you can always change it.
You can always fix it.
Okay, so there you go. So we have just trees aren't quite so dark, and let's see. Let's put something like this. I want to put something like this in front. Make that in front of that. Let's have this very dark right here. Let's see. Let's wash the light off the brush. A little black and burnt umber. There you go. Okay, so we're just sort of shaping up these little bit of logs that he's sitting on. This is a fun painting. It's just not hard to do. You've got a lot of leeway. You know, one thing you can do is you might want to put some branches coming down this way from the top. Now, if you didn't want to use the angle brush, could you use like one of the little brushes that have more like one of the zeros that has and you can, like for instance, like here's a little brush like that. Kind of wiggle that's something like this, or I don't know. I think this one probably needs to be replaced. The bristles on this are.
Well, I also like to have a little bit more fluid paint.
Yeah, the fluid paint on this would be better if you were doing this. The flow, I would say, would be a good one to do.
Yeah.
I think I want a little bit more. Let me just rinse the brush off because I had a dark color on that. want to go into white here, a little bit of blue. I want to just come up here like that. There we go. And now let's, yes and yes, yes. Okay, so there's our little fence. Again, trying to keep it simple, but something that's easily doable.
Simple but fun.
Simple but fun. So let's take our, let's make sure you don't have any color, no dark brown on this, and let's get into our, this is Cad Red Medium. I think I want Cad Red Light. And there's a big difference, and you can't really dump enough yellow into Cad Red Light. You can't really make that. You can Cad Red and Cad Red are really important colors to have. And as I pile through my colors, why don't you pause a minute, John? Let me find that.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to just go into the Cad Red Light now. And
ooh, brightness.
Look at how I can paint over this lovely bird here. And,
no longer canary now.
And I'm going to add a little bit more of the yellow on his tummy. So maybe even some of this orange here color. So really not his tummy as much as the kind of the back end of him. And then bring this down like that, kind of blend that in. Okay, here we go. Now that's the first color. Okay, it's great, isn't it? I always think, where else could I put this color? Could I add a little bit here to the fence, maybe? Drag a little bit over there, just something interesting. Maybe put a little bit on one of these trees. I don't know, just... There we go. So now I'm going to just dry that, all right? The trick. If you're not drying enough, I love doing the premieres because it allows me to dry when I need to. But here's some, let's say, here's a little bit of the orange color with some brown in it. And then back here, behind here, is where his tail is going. Like that. And it's a little bit of that orange kind of color on the outside. Like that. And then he's got sort of a beige color on this tip of the wing. Got a brown and a little bit of white in it. And then he's got a dark brown underneath it. And then we've got some magenta and ultramarine blue, kind of a purple color, more magenta underneath here. That's the darker. It's got to be, let's put some more red in that. There we go, this darker color right here, like that. Right up to the snow. And that same dark color can be here. Oh, I'm out of ultramarine blue. Where did I put that? I put that out so I wouldn't get stuck losing it again.
And what happened?
I lost it again.
Yeah.
That's so annoying. You ever lose paint like that? You just, you had some and then you don't, and you knew you had some and then you don't.
It was there a second ago.
Yeah, well, you know what? I know where another tube is, so heck with that. There you go, ultramarine blue. So there, nah. There.
You showed it who's boss.
That's right. So a little ultramarine blue and magenta, okay? That's the color we want.
Sounds like a purple.
It's like a purple, and that's where we're going to suggest the wings. Yes and yes. And I want that a little bit darker under there too, okay? That's where the wings go. Now we want red. This would be that was Cad Red Light. Now we want red with a little bit of magenta in it. Here on his tummy. like this, so that you want to leave that lighter color that suggests that it's hard to get that light back, so that's why you want to start with the light first, okay? Because there is a difference. When these reds dry, you're going to see it. You'll definitely see the difference in them.
It gives you depth to it.
Yeah.
Depth to the birdie.
Yep. And it's just funny because it really does make a difference. Let's get some little yellow. All right, so now before we put his face on and his beak, we need to dry him. Okay?
Looking
That's
good.
the trick. If I can't stress that enough. You got nothing on it. Dry, 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 dry. Yes? Okay. So now let's take a smaller brush and take some yellow. Maybe we know we've got a beak coming down. It comes like it's a triangle. Comes out like that.
His little beak.
It's just a little triangle on the side, okay? So now we're gonna, I know it's crazy it is, but we're gonna do, we're gonna dry that, yes? Dry the triangle. Is that dry? Okay, so now we want some yellow and maybe some cat orange. Let's try that with a little red. There you go. And that's our, let's try a little cat yellow medium. We'll put a little bit of orange with this. Too much. Oops. Do you ever do that? Get something on your picture you don't want? This is why you dry it, you guys, because then you can just take a damp rag and wipe it off. See? But if you didn't dry it, you can't do that. This is actually a Kleenex. Probably paper towel would have been better. Let me just get a tub of towels. I want to get that off because I don't have to redo the background. But these are things that, you do that. You think, oh, no, darn, this is terrible, right? Not terrible.
Not the end of the world.
Okay, so there you go. Gone. All right, so got interrupted with my beak here. Let me take a little white in this color. The lightest of this is going to be on top. Like that. This will be a little bit lighter highlight on that. Now, we know that we want to have the, I'm going to bring the bottom of the post up a little bit for my bird here. Now that I know where I've got him, he's going to have some legs. Whoops.
Ooh, that was a big lob.
Coming down here like that on our post, but there'll be some snow there. But I wanted to make sure, I wasn't sure where I was going to have that, so I wanted to make sure we had it. And let's dry everything again. One more time, okay? Dry it. All right. Now, before I get into my dark paints, rinse the brush, make sure I get all the water out of it. A little bit of white. And the lightest white, remember everything dries darker. Lightest white goes on top, yes. Let's put an icicle or something. Okay, that looks pretty good. And just everything's two colors, one color and then a second color. Yes, everybody agrees with that. Put a color and then a second color. All right, so there's our chili bench. Now I want to make sure I've had white on the brush. I'm going to get that off, and now I'm going to take the black paint, and I want to put his mask on, and it's doing this, goes around kind of like a parentheses backwards, then down like this, underneath the beak, and then comes around here like this and curves that way. You can always make it wider. Start with a little thin area and widen it up. Okay, so there's our cardinal there, and then here's we lost some of this light brown here right there. We'll just put that. It's just trying to be authentic, yeah. We want to be authentic, John.
Absolutely.
Authentic, and then normally you don't see in this little cardinal, you just rarely saw his eye, but we're gonna put it in anyway. We're gonna say there's his eye right here. The thing of it is that let's just darken that. I got to dry that black before I try that. Got to follow my own rules.
I was going to say, you're awfully brave to be even attempting that one.
Yeah. So let's dry it, and then we'll do it. Okay, so what I want to do first, when I'm doing that, the easiest way to do it is to do it white and then put the black, or kind of an off-white. I can't find the buff titanium, so I'll just do sort of an off-white color. Okay, so I'm going to just come up here like this. And that's going to be the outline of it, right? Now I'm going to dry that, and the black dot goes in the middle.
A lot easier way to do it.
So don't draw the circle. Just start in the beginning and then just expand it a little bit so you barely see the black. You barely want to see the white around his eye, okay? So let me just start here with this black here. I want to bring the black down a little bit further here and up here a bit more on his eye. Maybe give him another coat here. So that's now I've rinsed all the black off the brush, wiped it off a couple times, right? Want a little bit of red here on the beak, a little tiny bit, not much. Okay. Then maybe some of this lighter orange. That's that cat orange. I so love that color because it's so strong. All right, so I've got a little bit of a halo around him.
I like the halo.
Do you? I'm going to just kind of go over my yellow chalk a bit.
I think that's going to disappear when we wipe it off. I think it's cool looking.
There we go. Like that. I'm going to take a little bit of this cad orange and put it right here. Maybe a little bit right there, because over red it won't look as orange. And then let's take some cad red light. Red's one of those colors, and you can even just we haven't put any naphtha crimson on him yet either. And red is one of those colors that 2 or 3 coats is so much better than one. Does that make sense? Let's find
You got
it.
to build up.
I find it, this is quinacridone bread. See this one if I got anything out. I can't get anything out of these. Tell you what, I'm just, see, I want a bread here. Here we go. Brilliant alizarin. Let's see, what's that one? What color is that? That's not a color I think I want. Let's see, is it brilliant alizarin? That's kind of pretty on that, but I'm just saying, if you've got any extra reds, it's really not a color I want. Pretty happy with the bird, just the way he looks right now. I think we got it, and I want to just come over. See, that's not the best brush. Let's get a smaller one. I want to come over with the paint right here. This is why my YouTube shows always take too long. I'm always trying to come over with just another little bit of something. And now it goes back down. There, okay. So I think that's kind of fun, don't you guys? Just bring it like that. There's our a couple little black streaks, but we don't need many. All right, there's our cardinal on a fence. And, could you do a little bit of thing? How are you doing on time, John?
52.
All right, I'm going to just do then, since I have a little bit of time, I'm going to do a few of these branches in here off this tree. Maybe I might have maybe we had kind of a little branch here, right? There, and might, do something, and maybe something in here. Do I want a little branch? Oh, you know what might be kind of nice, John?
Do tell.
I'm just looking. I'm going to bring this down a little further. I want some, going to bring that down a little bit more. And I was wondering if I didn't want to put here. Oh, I'm going to do it. Oh,
what are you thinking?
Do it. I'm going to have a little bit of a branch going.
A little vegetation in the front there?
Just a little vegetation coming up front here. And then we're going to do it. Let me dry that. And I'll show you what we're going to do, because I just felt like I needed something there. Okay, so I've got to get the red off the brush, and I don't have any more titanium white out, but we know where that is. Okay. So what I want is I want a little bit of a branch. I want some snow, a little bit of blue snow here. Sometimes when you have snow, there'll be like a little indentation where like a little shadow, something like that, where the snow is. I'll just say where the branch is coming out. And I thought what I might want is You can always make stuff smaller by, if you get too wide a line, you can just take another color and make it thinner. I just felt like I needed something there, John. Just
You're giving it a little bit more depth. I think that's all right.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, just a little bit of something. So this is in front of that. This is behind that. This is coming down here. He's on some sort of woodland fence there. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what we wanted to convey here. A little bit more of the white. A little bit more of that. Change brushes to, where's this one? Yeah. Okay, so, all right, so here's some titanium now, just pretty much that. I can just kind of mound that up a little bit like that. It's in front of this. So I feel like that, we're going to take that in front of this tree here. Well, I don't know. Should I make that tree go all the way off?
We could do what?
Okay, I'm still deciding if I want to end this tree here, bring it all the way down.
Well, see how you move that one, the first one on the left forward. I bring the other two forward as well. So you have a row going up to this tree.
Well, I mean, I want it to look like the bank ends here, and this. I want the bank to end here. There's a big time discussions, you guys. I want the bank to end here.
Then you're going to have to bring the trees forward.
I know, but I'm just saying. I know that. Trust me, I know that. That's what I'm saying. I had it like that before, and right? I had it like that before.
Yeah, that's what you started with.
That's what I started with, and I kind of wasn't sure if I liked it. So we started with a little bit of this blue, part of the blue background coming down here like this, so that then we bring the trees down, and this is the bank that ends here, right? This is an interesting design dilemma, because I changed it when I
So you sort of deviating off what you started
off
with.
my original design just by freehanding it in. I changed it quite a bit, and
so you're running amok, as they say.
You can fix anything, but you have to understand why you're fixing it, right? So if I bring the trees down like this, like that, and we'll bring the snow down with them. But see, if I bring those trees down, I don't like that. But, I had to look, right? So this is...
No, that looks weird.
I just don't like it. So this is why you dry it. We always talk about this. Why do you dry anything?
You can erase
you dry it because then you can go back and put it under the kitchen sink if you're...
Rethink it.
If you want to rethink it. I mean, I'm telling you what, you've got options here, okay? You have got options.
Let's see, do that with watercolor.
Yeah, and people don't appreciate it, but you have got some major options. And let's just take a little snow up here and not talk about this. Okay. There, look at that. Now we're not talking about that at all. Notice this? We can keep him out of keep him out of the storm. See? You're going, I liked it better before, Ginger. What I used to be doing? Well, there you go. See? Now I've got this nice snowstorm. Like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's very wintry.
Well, it is. I mean, here's the There you go, the little toothbrush. And I almost feel like we'd have a little bit on the bird. I always end up with snow on my cardinals. Just a little bit. Just he's in the winter.
He's in the winter wonderland.
Yeah, he is, and he's in the winter wonderland. And we're doing one more thing before we get. Let me try that, right? And we're almost done. I promise you. Almost done.
So you say.
I just felt like we needed some branches there, right? Okay, so another little one. All right.
Little berries for him. That's why he's there. Going for a little dinner.
Don't you think so? He needed a few little berries. They don't grow on the trees, but they
No.
do. They do. They
Please
do.
don't put them on the trees.
They do. But you see,
Granted, you dry it and we can remove them, but let's not put them there.
but they are on the
Let's resist it.
kind of clusters of 3 is what I would always like to do with a few little highlights on the berries. There, see? Isn't that cheerier?
It does.
I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of silly stuff, but it's all silly stuff, isn't it?
Looking good to me.
We lost our eye here. Okay.
Lost the eye in the snowstorm.
In the snowstorm, but we put the eye back because we didn't want you not to have, an eye, right? That wouldn't have been good. So, yeah, so just a little bit of a wind flurry. It's not really a snowstorm. It's like when they have wind flurries. You've seen that, right? When the wind blows?
Flurries.
Flurries.
Flurries. I know
Flurries.
what flurries are, but what's a wind flurry?
Well, it's when the wind's blowing the flurry.
The old wind flurries. Yeah, got to watch out for them.
Okay, I think we got it, you guys.
Are you sure?
Yeah, where's our little wooden, here's our blue frame. Where's our snowy frame?
Yeah,
I think we got it, you
back
guys.
it up a skosh.
I'm telling you what, I think we got
This is
it.
a work of art.
I'm telling you, it took a little while to get there.
Oh, look at that.
But what do you guys think? Think we got a cute winter cardinal?
I think that's better than last year's.
Well, you know what? I mean, we got to start it off with an idea like that, and
You ended up with a real painting.
with a little painting of something. And I think it's kind of cute. Yes and yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I mean, how could you not like berries on your snow stuff, right? I mean, guys got to eat, right?
Got to eat.
So I'm just going to use a Posca pen and sign him.
Not on the frame.
No, I'm not on the frame, but I'm just looking at
Well, you were
color.
pointing to the frame.
Well,
I'm just reminding you.
I think I could do a black signature, but I think I'm just a little gold one right here. What do you think? Or maybe right here.
I do it over there.
Little gold signature there. All right, you guys, I hope you subscribe to our channel. This was just such a crazy thing to do.
What, subscribe?
No, this crazy little bird, the way we did it. But,
I love the bird.
But the thing of it is that you have to have that experience when you're painting. This was a good idea. No, it sucks. It wasn't a great idea. What on earth was I thinking? How am I going to fix this? Oh my gosh, I got paint somewhere else. And then you get all upset. There's no reason to get upset. You just have to make a decision. And then, the worst that could happen is you can start again,
You can just over the entire canvas and start completely over.
again, right? But I think I'm shaking up the stuff here.
Yeah, we can hear that. We're right in your microphone. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Okay, so here we go.
This is it. Once you sign it, there's no more painting on it.
No, I'm done. All right, the red splash will go later. So
it has
thanks.
after it dries.
Happy holidays for everybody. Happy winter.
Even if this is shown in September.
Well, it's still happy holidays.
Absolutely.
They don't get one because it's early. I mean, you still get them. Right?
No, you can't be giving them out
I
in
think
September.
this would be a cute. I think this would be a very cute card.
Oh, I do
You
too.
think this would be a really adorable Christmas card? Don't you think?
You have a little room down at the bottom to put Happy Holidays or
Yeah,
put little gifts under it.
something here. You could do a little something right here with the family.
You could have fun with
the
it.
Kardashians or whoever you are that is sending this out. We don't know, right? The Kennedys, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
That kind of thing. So anyway, thanks our mods for hanging in with us. We know you subscribed. Be sure to become a member of our free Facebook club, Acrylic Painting with Ginger Cook on Facebook and acrylicpaintingwithgingercook.com for more fabulous
In-depth. Without
step on
me.
step, with
You miss me, though.
no peanut gallery
Hey.
lessons. We love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Ginger Cook, the queen of color, with a blazing brush at the speed of light, and a blank canvas, and a hearty yes and yes. The queen of color, Ginger Cook, and her sidekick, John Little, teach you to paint with acrylics.